Don't be afraid of the dark. Just relax and let the darkness fall over you.
Welcome to Afraidish, a podcast where we take a deep dive into the history and paranormal while enjoying some tasty adult beverages. From ghost sightings to hauntings, urban legends and cryptids, let's get weird and afraid-ish together. Welcome to episode 43. I'm Paul.
And I'm Ashley.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it has.
That's fine. I needed a break.
Yeah.
So, we're just going to get into it. What are we drinking today?
I am drinking Free State Beer Guavatas Sour. It's pretty
Nice.
good.
Yeah. I'm drinking Purple Haze Raspberry Lager by Abita Brewing Company. Pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Here are 5 fun facts about churches.
Oh, yay. My favorite.
I know. 5 fun facts. Number 1. Some churches in Rome have catacombs beneath them which were used as burial places for early Christians. They contain thousands of skeletal remains and have an eerie atmosphere.
Yes.
Number 2. In some older churches, particularly in Europe, you can find charnel houses or ossuaries where human bones are arranged in decorative patterns or even used to adorn the church interior.
Yes.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Number 3. While not necessarily horrifying, gargoyles and grotesques on church exteriors can lend a spooky vibe, especially when viewed at night against the backdrop of a stormy sky.
Yeah.
Number 4. Some churches possess relics of saints or martyrs, including bones, clothing, or other objects associated with the individual. The display of these relics can sometimes be macabre.
Yes.
It's pretty wild. And number 5. Certain religious groups have exhibited cult-like characteristics, including controlling behavior, isolation from the outside world, and manipulation of members' beliefs and actions, which, I think pretty much all religion is a
religion.
Cult. Yeah, religion are cults.
Yes. You can be spiritual.
Oh, yeah.
You can be a Christian.
But, it's whatever you want to believe. You do you.
Yeah. But
somebody's got to have something to believe in, I guess.
I mean, I have something I believe in, but I'm not in a cult, so.
Yeah. Anyways. Now let's sit back and be haunted by St. Mary's Episcopal Church in Kansas City.
Okay.
St. Mary's Episcopal Church is a historic landmark church in downtown Kansas City. It was founded in 1854 by a group of Episcopalians who had moved to the area in search of new opportunities. Originally named St. Luke's Episcopal Church, the church was officially incorporated in 1857 and has since played a significant role in the city's cultural, social, and spiritual life. St. Luke's congregation built its first building in 1867 at 8th and Walnut Streets, later replacing it with a new building at 13th and Holmes Street in Holmes in 1887. The current church building was built on that land in the neo-Gothic style and has since become an iconic symbol of faith and hope in Kansas City. Mary Troost, a wealthy church supporter, deeded land on 13th and Holmes to the Episcopal Diocese of Missouri for a new building, stipulating that St. Luke's Parish change its patronage to that of the Blessed Virgin Mary, which most churches like that are.
Yeah.
Throughout the 19th century, St. Mary's Episcopal Church operated schools for boys and girls in downtown Kansas City. The church also founded All Saints Hospital in the River Market area, which eventually became St. Luke's Health System. Their bishop still serves as chairman of its board of directors. The parish operated a hunger relief and health care mission serving the working impoverished in the West Bottoms, which is a community. The parish's commitment to care for people experiencing poverty continued to into the 20th century, even as the surrounding neighborhood began to change. In the late 1950s, the urban renewal movement and plans for a new downtown freeway caused nearly all of the existing buildings on the east side of downtown to be demolished. As a result, the church building deteriorated. The roof and exterior masonry were structurally unsound, and the building was slated for demolition. A David Woods Kemper Foundation grant supported repairs to restore its structural integrity. Since then, St. Mary's has been lovingly referred to by some as Our Lady of the Freeway. In 1891, St. George's Episcopal Church was started at 32nd Street and Troost Avenue. The church occupied several other buildings, including one of Linwood and Passio that burnt down in 1954, until it formed a partnership with St. Mary's that allowed it to use its building. Bishop Arthur Vogel officially dissolved St. George's Church in February 1989 and allowed the congregation to transfer membership to St. Mary's. Allowed them to.
Right.
Through the latter part of the 20th century and the first decade of the 21st, St. Mary's continued to reach out to the community through its hunger relief and fine arts programs. The church building is the base of operations for downtown outreach, which distributes groceries and those in need and serves as an essential concert venue for the Kansas City classical music community.
Okay.
Which, yeah, I'm done with that. In 2009, St. Mary's began a capital campaign to restore and renovate the building. From 2010 to 2016, over $1 million in improvements were made, including new lighting, new sound systems, and a new roof. The renovations have helped ensure the church remains a vibrant and welcoming space for all community members. Since 2014, the community has grown slowly from an average Sunday attendance below 50 to over 90 as June 2019. St. Mary's continues to welcome all who come through its doors and reach out to those beyond its walls. Its commitment to the Anglo-Catholic tradition it received from its predecessor so long ago is unwavering. St. Mary's is a beacon of hope and healing in a broken and weary world, offering all safe and loving community. Side note, I believe that churches should be taxed like any other organization or business. It's not fair for them to be exempt from taxes when they operate like a business and make a profit, especially when they get political.
Yep.
Which most of the big ones do.
Yep.
I also think preventing corruption or misuse of funds within churches is essential. No minister should live a lavish lifestyle with a multi-million-dollar mansion, expensive cars, or private jets, while people around their communities struggle to make ends meet.
Yep.
Looking at you, Kenneth Copeland, who has amassed a net worth of $750 million. He's the richest televangelist.
Disgusting.
Yeah. And then
Joel Osteen,
who has accumulated a net worth of only $50 million.
Only. Oh my God, he's so poor.
I know.
How can he stand? Oh my God, he should. I hope he's embarrassed because that's so not any money at all.
There's so many more that I didn't name. Those are the two top ones that people know of. It's pretty gross. Anyways.
Yeah.
Would you like to learn a little bit about Neo-Gothic style or skip it?
Sure.
Okay. Well, here's a little bit about Neo-Gothic style. The Neo-Gothic architectural style originated in England during the 18th century. The rising Romantic movement led to a growing fascination with the Middle Ages, medieval art, and the picturesque aesthetic. This enthusiasm was primarily fueled by prominent figures such as Horace Walpole and William Beckford, whose luxurious architectural follies, like Fonthill Abbey and Strawberry Hill, captured the public's imagination. The Neo-Gothic style reached its heyday in the 19th century with the works of Pugin and Ruskin. The most iconic example of this style is the London Parliament building, constructed between 1840 and 1860. Yeah. This movement influenced the arts in Europe and in the United States throughout the 19th century. In France, the Revolution had severed ties with the country's Christian and monarchical past, causing profound cultural and social trauma. Nostalgia for a romanticized national history, particularly the Middle Ages, emerged as a new source of inspiration. Empress Josephine greatly admired the troubadour style paintings, I don't know, which embodied this passion for the Middle Ages. However, the style's full flowering was delayed until the Restoration period, when Neo-Gothic imaginary appeared more frequently in the arts. Imagery, yeah. Imaginary. Napoleon's tastes were more focused on Greek and Roman styles. In architecture, Neo-Gothic designs flourished with the work of Prosper Mérimée, founder of the French Monuments Historiques Museum, and Eugène Viollet-le-Duc, an architect who specialized in restoring French Gothic buildings. This style was characterized by vertical framing, highly decorated corner gables, crenellations, spires, and gargoyles on public buildings, churches, and large bourgeois properties. I don't speak French, and I know the words, I just have never actually read them. So, anyways, furniture and art objects were similarly influenced by Neo-Gothic ideas, with artists drawing inspiration from 15th century flamboyant Gothic objects in the cathedral style. The Middle Ages also significantly influenced Romantic literature, particularly the works of Walter Scott, whose historic novels proved immensely popular. Victor Hugo's famous novel Notre Dame de Paris, 1831, features the Gothic cathedral as both a setting and character. A temporary neo-Gothic facade was erected in front of the dilapidated front of the cathedral for Napoleon's coronation in 1804, while architect Hittorf designed a similar facade for the baptism of the Duke of Bordeaux in the Gothic manner. This signaled a shift away from the popularity of Greek and Roman architecture at the time. And now for the hauntings.
Yay!
St. Mary's Church, located in downtown Kansas City, Missouri, was built in 1887 at the corner of 13th and Holmes Streets. Today, it's surrounded by large government office buildings, freeways, and numerous unhoused people. But there's something eerie about this old, greener, and better-looking church. The rector, the Reverend Paul Cook, says the parish's mission is to provide worship in the Anglo-Catholic tradition and outreach to the impoverished and marginalized people around it. However, the church is known for its paranormal activities and ghost sightings. Legend has it that the ghost of former rector Father Henry Jardine haunts the church. Built 2 years after his death, 250 miles away. Father Jardine's tenure in the still raw frontier city was very mixed, with a sad, ambiguous ending. He was a key founder of St. Luke's Hospital, a leading medical institution in the area. He started a parochial school to educate the children of the women at the Body House down the street. But his Anglo-Catholic liturgical changes were divisive. He may have been dependent on chloroform to treat a chronic nerve condition of some kind.
Oh.
And he seems to have thought it his pastoral duty to spank some of his female parishioners after their confessions. Yeah.
Ew.
That's gross. Father Jardine was controversial enough that he sometimes felt the need to keep a gun visibly handy when he preached or celebrated.
Wow.
Yeah. Finally, in 1885, an ecclesiastical court found Father Jardine guilty of improper conduct toward a girl, indecent conduct toward women in the confessional, and using narcotics.
Huh.
Along the way, it was further learned that Henry Jardine had served a 2-year prison term as a young man for stealing from a relative's store in New York State.
Oh.
Father Jardine's appeal failed. He was disgraced and probably ruined, and on January 10th, 1886, he was found dead in a St. Louis church with a bottle of chloroform at his side and a small handkerchief over his face. When Father Jardine's body was being prepared for burial, a chain that had become embedded in his flesh was discovered fused around his waist.
Ew.
I know. Despite his death, odd things continued to happen inside St. Mary's. One night, organist Keith Gatchell saw a figure moving quickly past an upstairs music office window from the parking lot. He says he was at most 35 feet away, so he went up the back stairs and to the door, and he felt a cold space in the stairway that made his hair stand up.
Well.
Frankly, he didn't go into the office. When he returned, the office door was locked but unlocked a few minutes later.
What?
At first it was locked, but a few minutes later it was unlocked.
Okay.
Yeah. Mr. Goschel also says that on more than one occasion, his dog Sadie carefully tracked an invisible object across the sanctuary while he worked at the organ. He never had any bad experiences, but no longer practices there at night.
Yeah.
Off and on throughout his 50-plus years at St. Mary's, the Reverend Edwin Merrill heard someone coming up the back steps of his living quarters at night when he knew no one else was in the church. His living quarters later became the music office.
Oh!
So he does not live there anymore. The presence of ghosts increases the strength of magnetic fields. Halfway up the back stairs, a Gauss meter or EMF detector buzzed like a honeybee on steroids. In infrared pictures taken around the altar, a monk wearing a white habit and carrying a candle appeared. The clincher came on one afternoon in 1977 when Maurice Schwalm, a well-known Kansas City psychic investigator, saw Father Jardine's ghost in the sanctuary, clad in a monk's habit, smiling and levitating slightly.
How do they know it's Father Jardine?
I don't think they actually know.
They're just
extrapolating
and speculating.
Because he died in St. Louis, and then
Right.
This is a church in Kansas City.
Right.
So, speculation, I guess.
It's reaching.
Yeah. Mr. Swamp thinks the ghost is still around, but is in a much better mood because Father Jardine's name has been partially vindicated. But is it all just a hoax? Or is Father Jardine's ghost still lingering in the church, seeking redemption or wreaking havoc? Only those who dare to enter the church will ever know the truth. Would you dare to enter, or would it make you afraid-ish? I mean, entering a church.
I would combust.
I know. No, I don't know.
There's enough demon in me. I would just burst into flame.
Nah. Anyways. So what do you think?
I think that's... Maybe it's haunted. Sure.
Yeah.
I'll give them that. Like, whatever. I doubt it's Father Jardine.
Yeah,
Like,
because
he had no... The church was built, you said, 2 years after his death?
Yeah.
Did he have anything to do with the planning of the building?
No, he was in the area, like, before that.
Right.
But died in St. Louis.
Right.
So I don't know whether his spirit just, like, lingered in the area and happened to go to an Episcopal Church. Who knows? I don't know. But it's pretty far-reaching to say that's him whenever his... some say that, his body was buried in the basement. Eventually, like
they moved his body?
Yeah. But that obviously wasn't...
There would be records of that, though.
Yeah.
That's a whole ass legal process.
Yeah.
Or maybe not... What year did he die?
He died in... Shit.
He died in shit.
1886.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. I feel like in the 1800s, they had some pretty strict rules around exhuming dead bodies and things, but who knows?
I don't know. Yeah,
it's unlikely. I'm not sold on this one.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, supposedly the church is haunted
by a guy that never set foot in it.
Either by Father Jardine or some other
father
or what
friar, preacher. I don't know.
Anyways, so yeah, that's that.
So yeah,
I'm hoping to have another one out next week.
Okay.
I'm not going to be regular. I can't promise that because I've been working on other stuff. If you have any stories or requests or what you want to hear about or anything really, please email me at afraidishpodcast@gmail.com, Facebook, Instagram at afraidishpodcast. Tell me what haunted location you want to hear about or anything paranormal. I'm going to try to research some like UFO sightings or some more cryptids and stuff like that. All the links will be in the show notes. I have this on YouTube as audio. You can listen to almost anywhere you listen to podcasts. Also rate and review on Apple Podcasts and rate on Spotify. 5 stars, please. And until next time, don't be afraid of the dark.
Be afraid-ish of what's in it.
Bye.
Bye.
However, the style's full flowering was delayed until the Restoration period, when neo-Gothic imaginary appeared more frequently in the arts.
Imagery,
yeah. Imaginary.